going into my basketball. Every time I rock, man, this is how we rap and raw. Peace to my man, now we got the camera out. Every time I spit it, cross over the...
Hello, everyone. This is Josh, also known as Yashu, and you're tuning into episode 39 of the TLOY Talks podcast. You know, we're almost at 40 right now, so it's definitely like a blessing to see for a bit too for the episode. You know, you'll definitely check all the other episodes on like all of the platforms, Buzzsprout, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well too. And you know, we're gonna get the ball rolling here today. You know, like, comment, and subscribe either way too on the YouTube. And yeah, so today we have a very special guest today in the building. A well-known R&B singer-songwriter in Scarborough, who's released a lot of tracks such as like "Only You," "Without You," "Missed Calls," "Last Goodbye," and much more. And you know, he's been making some waves in the Toronto music scene right now. We have Anthony T99 in the pod. How are you doing today, man?
Appreciate that. I'm good. I'm glad to be here. So, you know, I can't complain.
Yeah, man. Nah, like when we tapped in for IG, you know, just like even like having like this process to do it, like it's pretty interesting to get that ball rolling. And, you know, I've been like tapping in with the music so far, and it's just been dope ever since. And, you know, just seeing your brand and seeing your growth, it's, you know, good to see from there and all that. And I'd like to showcase that story as well, you know, so.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
So I want to get it started for a bit too. So you were born and raised in Scarborough, correct?
Yes, sir.
True. So where did you grow up in Scarborough, and what was like the environment like for you growing up as a kid? Would you say it was a good childhood back then, or would it be very different?
So I grew up in Scarborough, Port Union. It's like, some people would say it's a really shady area, but I mean, hey, it's still pretty good. That's where I have most of my friends. But my childhood, I would say honestly, it was okay. It was good. I liked it when I was younger. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I mean, I wasn't like the most kid that stood out from everyone in my high school, even in elementary school. So I got picked on a lot. So I mean, I wouldn't say it's the best, but I mean, it was good. I liked it. It was good. Can't complain. I have a lot of friends, so
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, no, because I know like with Port Union, it's like in the bridge between Scarborough and Pickering. So like you're like literally like in the edge between Toronto and like Durham region too. So I guess like just like in that area too was like interesting to see for a bit, because there was like a lot of like stuff going on around, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's correct. Yeah, it's cool though. I like it. Good childhood though. Can't complain.
True. And I mean, Scarborough, like it's been like big with like music, like in that sense too, you know, with a lot of rap, you know, with Pings, Cardinal Official, Maestro Fresh West, you know, I think also like Daniel and like all these other people too, to like Bugs, to like Freedom French and much more too. But growing up, was it like big for music in terms of being an industry like end, or just as a community at the time?
I wouldn't say it's I wouldn't say it's too big on the industry wise, like in music, but I mean, it's like more underground, but it's decent. That's all I can say. Like it's decent industry, yeah.
True. And like what was like you were born in the like late 90s or early 2000s?
Yeah, 2003.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm born in like 96 too, so like you know, like it's like kind of like a contrast between like 90s babies and like 2000s babies in that sense too. But like, you know, what was like your childhood like in the like early, mid, and like late 2000s? And I know like you already like talked about it before, like with the bullying, but what was it like outside of that, like in that sense?
I mean, it was a lot to deal with, so I can't like really even wrap my mind around it because it was a lot. But I mean, and I don't remember everything, but it was good. You know, in 2003, it was good. It was nice. I had a lot of my friends growing up at the same age, and everything was cool. And now I have a lot of friends as well now, so it's cool. And all my friends do pretty much the same things that I do. We have, you know, similar interests, so it's nice. I like it.
And nice. Was it like more like video games back then, or was it like TV? Like, because I know like video games, like you had like Grand Theft Auto, you had like the Wii and all that, you had like Call of Duty. Yeah. And then, I mean, with TV, like there was like some good cartoons back then. And so I guess, was it like an interesting time for you to kind of develop and like tap in with like a lot of things?
I mean, I would say a popular thing was like the Wii, like Wii Sports, Mario Bros, you know?
Yeah.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah, and I know what you mean, man.
Yeah.
But in 2010, if I'm correct, at the age of 7, you had a near-death experience and you were like unable to breathe, talk, or move normally for 2 months and you had to like stay in the hospital for 2 years. Was that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
So tell me more about that, and how did it like change for you, like in a way?
Oh, yeah. So I was in the hospital because I had encephalitis. That's something that goes on in your brain. It clogs your brain up. So right now, I lost like half of my, like maybe less than half of my brain, but I'm fine. I'm well. But yeah, I was in the hospital for 2 years. Just had to do a bunch of checkups. I stayed there for obviously 2 years, which is a long time, and I was in coma for 2 months. And then I had a breathing tube because I couldn't breathe properly. It was like a feeding tube as well, and I was in the wheelchair. I had to learn to walk again. I had to learn to talk, and it changed my life because I used to have a lot of friends back when I was younger, and everything was, I would say, normal. Even though I am normal now, but I lost pretty much all my friends at that time. I got picked on by all of them. I went back to school. I got picked on by a bunch of, I would say, so-called my friends, that I guess weren't really my friends because now they picked on me for just because I was in the hospital. They used to spread rumors about me. They used to threaten me with what happened to me. They used to like say death threats and all of these things to me. And then they used to go around bullying me, picking on me, going behind my back and all that. And so now I don't call them as friends. Now I have honestly one real friend. That's my friend that I meet up with all the time. So it's different now because I don't have too many friends. I just have more like acquaintances that I talk to. But I mean, yeah. So I mean, that's how it pretty much changed. After that period of time.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
definitely know what you mean, man. And I definitely see that you've grown from this, like for the better. And it's amazing to see like how your journey like became like interesting in that sense too. And like just like even being like in that hospital for a bit too, like being at like those four like gray walls, like in that sense too. Did it like kind of like deteriorate you like mental health wise and all that, like just being in a hospital, like eating like the same food, like that they provide, and just seeing that, like, I don't know, like how life can be like predicting, like in that sense too.
No, I was cool. I mean, my parents, they quit their jobs for me, obviously, to be in the hospital to take care of me, make sure I was okay. So they used to stay there overnight. They used to take me out once in a while, and so I got a variety of foods, but they used to make sure I was okay, so I didn't get the same things all the time. So I was good.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so it was good.
And like being a hospital kid, like what have you like experienced that others might not like experience, like in that sense too, like even like throughout that 2 years, because being in a hospital for 2 years, it's like pretty like interesting too, because that's kind of like a good like chunk of your like life, like in that sense and all that.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, so for me, I I almost lost my life at the age of 7, and it was really scary because I actually had doctors coming up to me and my parents, and even when I was awake, but also mostly it was in coma, but my parents kept telling me that doctors and nurses were telling me that to my parents that your son wasn't gonna make it, and I almost lost my life, and it was really scary because it was at a young age. I was 7, so I mean, it's really scary. And the thing is, also, I made friends in the hospital, and I actually saw them lose their own life, and they were right beside me, and I used to see that. So it was a traumatizing experience, and it's a lot to even like talk about
Yeah.
at a time now,
Yeah.
and even yeah,
Yeah,
but
no.
yeah.
I mean, just to like kind of like close off like that whole like sequence, like did it make you feel like stronger, like in a sense, and did it guide you to a path where it helped you for like the better to like move forward, like in that sense?
Of course. I mean, I'm doing music now, honestly, because I almost lost the ability to talk, and I had a lot of people tell me, to my parents, your son was never going to be able to talk again. There was a slight chance of me even making it in a chance, and just doing it now, I could actually use my voice, for the better of it, to like, every day when I want to say how I feel, I could do it in a song. I put my feelings in a song, and I want to do it so I could like also tell people like there is a way to express how you feel no matter what the outcome is, and you should never give up, because I could have just given up at that point, and I could have said, you know what, I'm done. Just I don't want anything to do anymore. But I kept going, and I So I just want to like
Yeah.
show others that
Yeah. No, I know what you mean, man. And getting like as you mentioned, like you were like bullied from like that time period. Just like a lot of people, like fake friends and all the other type of stuff like happening like in that sense too. From that time versus now, like how did you deal with like bullies and like bullying in general? Like I think like before, like was it like tough for you like before as opposed to now where you just kind of like ignore it and move forward like on that sense?
yeah. Honestly, I don't really get. I wouldn't say I get picked on by a lot of people right now because I'm out of high school. I got picked on mostly at school, like high school, elementary school, and all that stuff, preschool. But yeah, honestly, whenever I encounter a bully, all I do is really just, try to escalate the situation. I don't try to care as much, but as well, I don't try to instigate if we ever get into a fight or an altercation, because I don't want anything to happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, I try my best just to not let that situation even happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. And just like moving like forward from that, like outside of like all these like situations, what were you like as a kid, teenager and like young adult, like in that sense too? Like what can people expect from Anthony T99 that they've never seen or known about you before and all that?
I mean, I got a book coming soon that I'm actually writing, and I spent like a year or two writing, and I actually it's about my life. Like it's about not just about the hospital, but it's about every single chapter of my life. Like the day I was born, what happened in the hospital, exactly point to point, and so I'm writing about that. To because it's my life is, I would say honestly, from because I'm 19, my life from 19 was really crazy, and a lot of things happened to me that doesn't happen to a lot of people, and so it's pretty crazy. So I want to, in the book, it's a book kind of like to show people that there is always a way and you should never give up, but it's also something that people could also probably relate to. So I have a book coming soon, and it's coming in 2024. So I'm excited for that.
All right, no, we'll definitely plug that in once it gets released, and anyone can like buy it like on all platforms like coming soon, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be like on Amazon and Audio Mac, all that.
All right, true. No, most definitely, man. And I know that you mentioned on your Spotify page that you got into like Michael Jackson and like dancing and singing from those types of artists. But how did you get into like singing and making music like as a profession, and what led to you taking those paths like seriously for your profession?
Um, So I got into making music professionally because I told you, like, I almost lost ability to speak, ever use my voice again. So I want to do something where I could actually use my voice all the time, singing and being in the studio. And I love it because all my friends make music as well. My best friend's actually a producer, engineer. He has his own studio at the house, and we do that together, so it's cool. I like have like a little friend group of 2 3 friends that connect with, that have the same interests with me and all that. So that's how also as well I got into music. But I just got into music because at the hospital my parents always used to play music for me when I was in the coma, when I was just sleeping, and I just got into music from there pretty much as well.
True. And like as far as like your musical history and background, like you had like no one. Did you have like anyone that like kind of like make music in that sense too, or like any like family members or any like uncles in that sense too, or
No.
no?
No, I wouldn't. No. My uncle was an actor, so I mean, I wouldn't really say that's music, but he knows like the business of music as well because he has like a lot of friends. He used to be in a band, so I mean, I wouldn't really say it's like a musician because he didn't release music. He was just in a band. He used
True,
to play like guitar,
true,
piano,
true.
drums.
And like, was he like a
Yeah.
well-known actor, or like was he like in the ranks trying to become like the best like actor in the game?
Yeah, he wasn't a voice actor. He was actually like an actor, and he used to act in movies. He has a
True.
couple movies out right now.
True. Most definitely. And which artists would you like to like work with someday?
I would say like Justin Bieber, yeah, Chris Brown, James Arthur, Louis Capaldi.
True. That's dope, man. And for first time listeners, how would you describe your music to them, and what can they expect from you like when they like listen to your music?
Well, if you honestly, I wouldn't really say my music has a genre because I have a couple songs coming out that's like reggaeton, um, Afro, yeah, some are the same I have, but you never know what to expect. So when you listen and if you don't like the genre, there's more to come. So I mean, there may be a genre that you like that I have, you know.
Sure. No, most
But
definitely. And what's your creative process like when making music, and what would a day in like the studio be like for you, like in that sense?
so honestly, when I'm in the studio, I just listen to the beat once or twice in my head, and then in my head, I close my eyes and try to think of a few words or something that's happening. Currently, I try to put that into a sentence, and I just go from there, and I
True.
just put that in a verse,
No,
whatever
true, man.
goes.
Yeah. No, it seems interesting to see like in that process too. Like I know some people just like tap in with the beat, but like others like they have like a lot of like processes. Like some like meditate, some like like elevate, through like smoking or like drinking or like having like other stuff too, like scenery and all that, like putting candles. Like I don't know if that's like kind of like your vibe, like in that sense, or would it be like different?
No, I don't drink or smoke,
Oh,
so
sure.
that's not my sense. But I mean, when I'm in the studio, I mostly like freestyle. Or sometimes I wouldn't really say a lot of my songs are freestyle, but sometimes I close my eyes and think of something that's happening and I want to express in that way,
Oh,
you
true.
know?
No, most definitely. Have you ever had any like crazy like studio experiences before where things like kind of got interesting too, and like that vibe just kind of kicked it from right there?
Uh Nah, not really. I would say honestly, just me being in the studio all the time is a good experience because it's a place where I can just honestly just have a mind where I don't have to really think and just
Yeah.
so I like it. It's
Yeah,
cool.
no, I know what you mean, man. No, 100%. Like
Yeah.
just speaking about your singles right now, like what I like about them is like the cover art too, because I like how it's organized in a unique format. Like how there's like one square like on that side too, and then there's like the imagery on that other side, and like with the logos and that type of stuff too. Like I kind of like the like cover art for the singles, like right there too.
I
Like,
appreciate that. Appreciate that, man.
yeah, man. Just like speaking about them, like with Only You, Without You, Missed Calls, Last Goodbye, Away, like what were the creative processes and inspirations like for those songs?
So Only You was I made this song about a girl that was at my school, and the it's a funny story. It's pretty crazy. I actually played this song because it was for this girl that I was gonna take to prom, and I actually played it on the announcement so everybody heard. And I performed it at my school because there's this carnival. There's like maybe 200, 300 people. They all told me to perform. So I performed it there for her as well, and she saw a couple of videos of me, and I put it on the announcements a day before Valentine's Day. And I proposed to her for prom. There was like this big bridge and everything, and I made it for her. And then she she said she was gonna go with me and in front of the whole school. Then she didn't, and she flaked on me. So I made it for her because I wish I could have taken her to prom. And Last Goodbye is a song I made for my grandma that actually passed away like 2 days before I made that song. And Missed Call is honestly, it's not about anything. It's just a vibe about
True,
how I
true.
felt in the studio.
Yeah,
I freestyled it, so
yeah,
it was
man.
cool because I was with all my boys, so I
Yeah.
liked it. It was nice.
Yeah, man. Yo, I got a crazy story to tell you. I even tried doing something similar to this. So basically back in like 2014, so basically it was like prom and all that, and it was like my last year too. So basically what I did, I kind of created like a YouTube video where it was basically like a whole like, will you like go to prom with me and all that, like kind of corny type stuff.
Yeah.
I was wearing like a tie, like like a shirt and all that. I was like walking to this one store, came back in the other scene, kind of had like some flowers, and then I went back to the other area, and then I just like went to a seat, and then I had a piece of paper and like a Sharpie, kind of like wrote it in that sense too, like, will you go to prom with me or stuff like that. And then it kind of cut to this girl named Sangyal, like, would you like go to prom with me and all that. So basically I already had the film done. I was supposed to show it at a talent show or like this other thing too, and it kind of didn't work out too. So I tried going to her chemistry class, and basically, I was like, "Hey, I want to show you a video and all that," and she was like, and I was just like, because like
Damn.
that would have been like a good choice for her to go to prom, because she was actually like single at the time too. So I kind of like understand like how that happened, but you were kind of lucky there, because she kind of got it like in the moment, like that you proposed, and she had that plan on accepting too for a bit, but nah, like it was like interesting too, like how you could be creative like in that sense too.
I feel you, but I rate the commitment though. You went all the way together. Sharpie, you put on
Yeah.
paper, you made the video, bro.
Yeah.
Man went all out. I
Yeah.
gotta respect
Yeah,
that.
man.
I gotta
I
respect
think I
that.
still have the video, but it's been a while. Like, it used to be on my YouTube channel for a bit, but I was like cleaning like a lot of stuff up too. So I'll probably show it like in another way too. But yeah, man, just kind of added that on as like a story and all that for a bit. So,
That's sick though,
but
bro.
like the cover art, was it like very intentional of what you're trying to do to make it more simple, or have you ever had like ideas of wanting to create like the best cover art for your music?
I wouldn't say anything with my cover art is intentional, but I wanted to kind of relate to how the song is. Like for Away, I don't know if you saw the cover art for Away. If anybody,
I think I might have seen it.
yeah. So it's me sitting on this bridge, and like there's this big I would say, how do I explain it? Like this big monster behind me. I put it as that because I feel like it's more of a pop song. It's like a feel good song. And I made it with my boy, and we made a music video for it. And then I have my boy playing basketball in the background. I feel like it's kind of relates to the pop vibe, But for Only You, it was so with whatever I'm doing, I try to make the color match the song. And Only You is it's like roses. I dropped it on Valentine's Day, so I made it the cover art red, and it was me like kind of sad just sitting on the stairs because I feel like the vibe would fit it. And for Missed Calls, it was blue because it's pop, but there's water, and I put it as like just the phone because I felt like just the vibe would fit it. So I try to fit how the vibe is, and whatever is happening in the song. You know what I mean? Kind of
Yeah,
like
man.
color coding.
No, I know what you mean, man. No, it's kind of like unique to like in that way, in that sense. So,
Yeah, I appreciate
and
that. Yeah.
getting back to like your like singles, like in that sense too, you dropped more singles than like a full length project. Do you feel like dropping those singles is like a better way to connect with your fan base than dropping a project, or is like a project like in the works soon for you, like in that sense?
Yeah, definitely. I'm dropping a project soon. I'm dropping an EP and an album soon. But I got a lot of projects dropping soon. I got a lot of music video dropping soon. I have like 6 music videos done already. That I'm waiting to drop. I'm dropping a new music video on the 30th, June 30th, and I'm dropping a new single, July 4th. I have a snippet on my IG. But yeah, it's called "The Wish You Never Left," and it's a crazy song. I can't really wait to release it. But I got a lot of singles coming up too. I got another one in July, the end of July, and I got some music videos in July and August, September, every single month of this year. So it's gonna be crazy. But
Most
yeah,
definitely.
project soon.
No, like
Yeah,
we'll definitely tap
yeah.
in and like plug that in for people to tap in.
I appreciate
And
that.
we mainly talked about like your music, which is like mainly like about like love, relationships, and much more. So, from your own experiences with love, was being a major factor in like your expression, like with those singles, what made you wanted to display it like on a strong level, and how do you feel about the impact those songs have on various like listeners like listening to them?
Like what do you mean? What do you mean?
So so the question like intentionally was, throughout your music, one of the biggest concepts, subject matters was love. Knowing that your own experiences with love was like a major factor in your expression with those singles, what made you wanted to display it on a bigger level, and how do you feel about the impact those songs have like on various like listeners like listening to them? So like having like love as like a main like importance like within your music, have you ever felt like it impacted people like listening to the songs?
I mean, you know what? Yeah, because when I played it on Valentine's Day at my school on the announcements, there were people that, everybody in my school, because I actually made the Way, I don't know if you saw like a little skit, the Way music video, and then I had a bunch of my friends there. They all came to watch it, They I actually shot the music video there, and that's my highest music video right now because they're all in it too. Pretty cool. They all watched it, and I done a lot of shows there, talent shows, assemblies, and all that. So they all know me from music. But yeah, when I played on Valentine's, there were a lot of people like they're all people hugging each other. They're all like, they were just, it was a vibe where they all tapped in, and it was, yeah. But I also, actually, it's crazy because I actually had people that I don't know. And after like a week, I think a week later, I released a song. They hit me up on IG. Don't remember their name, but they said, "Hey, I really love your song. I played this song to my girlfriend that I recently broke up with, but then I got back with her because she listened to the song, and I played it for her on our prom night." And then I was like, "Damn, bro, that's crazy." And so yeah, I would feel there's an impact, but I made the song specifically because I got my heart broken. But if anybody else can listen to it, maybe they can get back with their loved one or somebody they're missing or something,
Yeah, no, most definitely. And I know some people, like, when they react to a song, like, they'll cry or they'll have like a big smile like on their face too. So like, even like when that thing happened, have you ever noticed like people crying, like when they heard the song, like a tear like shed like in their eyes and all that? Or have they ever like came up to you like at random just telling you like, hey, like, your song like sort of like changed my life in that sense too?
So crazy thing as well. Only You, I just part of it, the most like the hook for the song of Only You, I actually played it at my because some of it, the hook was actually meant to be for my grandma. Um I played that part at my grandma's funeral, and then I wouldn't say it's like people that I don't know because obviously I know them in my family, but like pretty much everybody at my grandma's funeral, they kind of were crying, they shed a tear a little bit. So I mean, yeah, I would say yeah, and they listened to my song Last Goodbye. That song is actually specifically for my grandma, not anybody else. So that when they listened to it, they were crying, they were emotional.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, most definitely.
yeah,
And
but I also had friends come up to me and listen to some of my emotional songs and my unreleased one, and they really liked it. They related to it a lot, and they were crying, and it stuck with
yeah.
them, and they just yeah.
No, 100%, because music, it's like it's a form of healing, like in that sense too. Like when you listen to it, like, it kind of heals you from whatever wounds you have too, and like it kind of gets you back up on like what you need to do to move forward and everything else too. And I kind of see it from there and all that. So like definitely keep going regardless.
Of course, bro. I appreciate that. That's
Yeah,
love.
man.
Appreciate
I
that, bro.
want to figure out, how did you get your stage name by any chance?
Yeah, so I actually had a YouTube channel when I was 14 called Anthony T99. And obviously, I was in high school back then, and all my friends in my school knew me as Anthony T99. I used to record like pranks. I used to record just random videos, vlogs in class, in my gym. All my friends were in there in the cafeteria where there was like 200, 300 people there, and they used to be in my videos as well. And even when I was off school, just chilling, they used to all want to be in my videos. They knew me as Anthony T99. So now, as music, that's my stage name. Now they all call me Anthony T99 because that's how they know me. So that's how I got my name.
Oh, true. No, most definitely, man. And being a person like well known, like in the Toronto music scene, like being involved, like with the events, the concerts, all that type of stuff too. How do you feel about it right now at the moment? Do you feel that there should be some changes on the direction of where the scene should go to, or do you feel like it's fine the way it is?
I think it's fine the way it is. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
True.
It's good how it is. I like it.
Yeah. So like with like even like with various stuff going on, like Rolling Loud and like with the Keep Six Solid clubhouses and the academics like live stream with like Toronto Robbers, you think it's shedding a good light so far?
I think, I mean, yeah, I think everything is cool, and I think, people are rolling loud, they're doing their thing. I think it's good. And yeah, everything's
True,
cool.
true. No, most definitely, man. And we just have some of these questions left over. But do you have any regrets in your life, or you regret nothing in that sense?
Um, with music wise, no. But with some life decisions, yes. But but I already did it, so I can't go back. But I'm happy with how everything is so far. happy with what I'm doing, and yeah.
Nah, most definitely, man.
So
And
it's good.
nah, I know what you mean, man. And like I usually try to ask this like with many people, like in that sense too. Just like these last two, well, not these last two questions, but these additional two questions. So, like, can you recommend any like books or TV shows or movies or podcasts that you're like tapping in with nowadays too?
So I'm writing. It's funny. I'm writing a book, but I don't listen to. I mean, I don't listen to a lot of podcasts. Like I don't listen to any podcasts.
Not true.
But once in a while, I do tap into a couple Joe Rogan's podcasts.
True.
Sometimes when I'm bored and I'm chilling. And I don't watch TV really, and I don't writing a book, but I actually don't read any books.
True.
Nah.
I know what you mean, man. Nah, I definitely understand. And name 3 songs on your catalog that you could recommend to anyone that would like to get to know you for the first time.
I would say "Love Yourself" by Justin Bieber, James Arthur, "Say You Won't Let Go," and Louis Capaldi, "Wish You the Best."
Oh, true. And like also like from your music too, like from your catalog as well too. Like what can they like listen to that you could recommend to them like tapping in?
Well, I'm just saying because these ones like really related to me,
True,
so
true.
I'm gonna say it. But "Last Goodbye," that one really meant a lot to me. Honestly, if anybody lost a loved one or wishes that they were still here, because I wrote that for my grandma that passed away 2 days ago, and it really stuck with me. So "Last Goodbye," "Only You," and on my catalog, I don't know anything else, but they're unreleased, but it's gonna be dropping soon. It's called "Wish You Never Left." That one is by far one of my most emotional songs that I have probably written this year. So
True.
yeah.
True. And what do you have going on next? Like I know you have the book, I know you have like the music dropping soon and your music video, but what else do you have going on next?
Yeah, I have a music video dropping June 30th. I have a single dropping July 4th. And I have another single dropping July 30th, and I have a song and a music video dropping August 27th, and I have a single dropping in September, October, November, December, and January. So yeah, for the months coming, probably every month there's gonna be 1 to 2 singles. So, but yeah, EP soon. It's gonna be in September, and albums in December. So yeah, a lot coming.
All right, man. And where can they find you like on social media?
So Anthony T99 is me on Spotify, __ Anthony T99 _ on Instagram, and YouTube. It's just Anthony T99, same as Spotify.
True.
Yeah.
And any closing remarks you'd like to say?
Honestly, if anybody has a dream or they feel like they want to give up, don't give up, because I could have gave up right there and honestly lost my life, but I'm still here. So anybody that wants to give up or even feeling to give up with anything that they love and really have the urge, don't give up, because honestly, there's always a way out and you can do anything if you put your mind to it. Just stay focused.
Likewise, man. Anthony, thank you for coming by, man. I guess we could
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man, and thank you for coming by, man. And this is Josh, also known as Yashu. TLOY Talks, episode 39. This will be dropping on all platforms soon. Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout, YouTube, much more. Where you're gonna get it? Apple Podcasts. Make sure you give it a 5-star review or any other review, like if necessary too. But like the reviews, like always matter too, And this is Josh, also known as Yashu, episode 39. With the legendary Anthony T99, TLOY Talks, signing off.